Hello, welcome back. Today I thought we'd look at some tips for when we go to practice. And there's 8 tips today about practice. The first thing is that don't go to practice if we are tired. If we've had a heavy night the night before and you get up and you feel a bit hungover or whatever and you're tired and you're not really alert, what's the point of going to practice? You're just going to go there, miss a few targets, and not really achieve much. So, if we're tired, give practice a miss, because practice is important. The other tip, number 2, is practice with someone who is better than you. If you practice with friends that you can shoot better than they can, then when you line up with them, you see a lot of targets being missed, and that just puts the wrong sort of mental image into your head. Whereas when you practice with a person who is better than you, then it makes you concentrate. I practice with a bloke, Darren, who's a double A shooter, very good shot. And we always have a beer on the end of it. I bet him a beer that I can beat him. And in all this time that I've been shooting with him, I've only ever won a beer off him once. He always ends up beating me by 1 or 2 targets, but it's worth the beer because it makes me concentrate. The other thing is, at practice, and any time, even in a comp, when we miss, we remember the 3 C's. We stay cool, calm, and in control. When we miss a target, we don't show any emotion. We act the same as if we just dusted it, just broken into a million pieces. We take our shell, we gently put it back in the bin. We don't throw it, we don't shake our head. No emotion. We missed a target, well, that's okay. We'll shoot a 24. Use trigger words. We have spoken about this. The words I use is see bird, shoot bird, see bird, shoot bird. No thinking, you just gives you confidence. Just while you're waiting, you just say to yourself, see bird, shoot bird. And the other thing is, empty gun. At practice, make sure that we hold our gun tightly against our shoulder. That will give us greater control. And so when we mount the gun to our cheek first, then it's a bit hard sitting down. We mount to our cheek, but we push the gun into our shoulder, and that will give us greater control. And that's something to practice at when we're there at practice. The other really important thing is, once we've shot the target and broken it, follow the chips to the ground. And so we mount our gun, we call pull, we shoot, we go bang, and we follow it to the ground. So we go bang and follow it down to the ground. And that is important because it makes us keep our cheek on the stock at all times. We are one with the gun. So follow the chips to the ground. You can shoot the chips if you want to, but that gets a bit expensive. But just following them to the ground is good. Concentrate on every shot. Concentrate on every shot. Even though it's practice, we still got to concentrate. And the most important tip number 8, is practice at home. So what can we do at home? If you can't go to the gun range for practice, what we do at home can be even more important than when we go to practice at the range. And that is practicing our gun mount. And if we were to mount our gun 70 times every day, that would be 500 gun mounts in a week. In a year, we would have practiced our gun mount 25,000 times. So how good would that be? Just mounting our gun 70 times a day. Easy to say, hard to do. But if we did do that, our scores would skyrocket. And the other thing is, when you practice mounting the gun, then swing horizontally on the line made by the wall and the ceiling. So we've got a horizontal line. So we mount our gun, we practice our gun mount, and we practice swinging left to right. So they're the tips for practice, especially the gun mount one at home. I hope you're all well. Good to see you again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.